Yeah, I want to talk about deception and filters. Filters on your mouth, filters on your soul, filters on your your thought process onto others. A filter is nothing but deception. Okay? People who deceive people on a daily basis use filters, meaning they keep stuff to themselves. Okay? About a certain person or people. And that's what deceptive people use to connive, to drive, to become opportunists when the time sees its window. Okay? People that use filters. It's coming popular to use filters all the time. Deceives people. Okay? Honest people don't use filters. Honest people tell you what they think about as they think about it. Honest people can be trusted. People without filters can be trusted. People that care don't have filters. People that are concerned with his fellow man don't have filters. People who don't have filters try to broadcast what's wrong with the world. People that do have filters on their mouth, well, they sit back and let the world burn. And sometimes, most of the time, they get converted to causing drama. This is the topic I'm using today because the simple fact is, somebody said, I don't have a filter. I don't have a filter on my mouth, and I don't. If I have a problem with you, gonna know about it. If I don't have a problem with you, I won't. I will tell you I don't have a problem with you, unless you want me to keep that to myself as a filter. Okay? Society is teaching you how to lie, connive, become opportunists, to destroy your fellow man. It's all stages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it starts with a filter on your mouth. Okay? Having a filter on your mouth teaches you to deceive people. Having a filter on your mouth makes you not give a damn. If you don't have a filter on your mouth, you care. If you don't have a filter on your mouth, you can be trusted. If you don't have a filter on your mouth, you are a concerned citizen. For example, say somebody gets shot in the corner and you saw the person's face that murdered an innocent woman and child. A person that comes forward and tells who that person is can be trusted. But you have people all over the United States being taught to have a filter in your mouth. Okay? They see the person, they see the murder, they see the murder of the child, they see the murder of a woman, they say nothing. That's where the code of silence, or what I call snitching, come from. Okay? Snitching don't pertain to you if you see a murder, if you see a child murdered in the street, see a woman murdered in the streets, and you see the person who murdered them. Snitching is when you're part of that murder. Okay? You're a part of that murder to shoot down this child and shoot down this kid. And ran off with the older assailants that killed the child and the kid. And then you decide to think about it. You decide to have a heart. You decide to Oh man, I'ma tell to cover my ass. That right there is a snitch. Unfortunately, the hood can't tell the difference nowadays. Then combined and embedded the two. From being a witness to being a snitch. The two is not the fucking same. Okay? And that gives permission, due to the fact that years and years and years of having a filter in your mouth and being taught to have a filter in your mouth, you can't differentiate which of the two you're doing at a present time. Because the both are snitching, and both of being a witness is too closely embedded by definition. Now I already explained that definition of what a snitch is. But the hood can't tell the difference. That's why, and you get into psychology, that's why a lot of people are dying in the streets. That's why Negroes can go in broad daylight and kill people and talk to somebody who they don't know and say, don't snitch. If you go to the police department and you try to identify the assailant who killed those two, the kid and the woman, you're not a snitch. You're an eyewitness. And it's frustrating the police. And it's frustrating the police so much that the police is not giving a damn who the hell get killed in the hood. Because you got that code of no snitching. The police need eyewitnesses. Police don't need snitches. Two definitions. Okay? And that's why everything is going running rampant in the hood. That's why everybody getting shot in the hood. That's why everybody getting killed in the hood. Because they can't tell the difference between snitching and being a witness. Maybe it's our education. Maybe the schools are failing us. Maybe the government who produces the school are failing us. But the fact of the matter is, we're shooting ourselves in we're shooting ourselves in the foot here. And then when somebody's bleeding out on a corner and stuff like that, one person helps them. Other people look and take camera pictures because they don't want to be involved, and they want to be on the other side of the camera so they don't look like a fucking snitch. Then it blows up. Then people decide to not have remorse if they see it enough. You see it perpetually. Murder, murder, stealing, murder, murder, stealing, murder, murder, stealing. And the first thing that comes to your mind is, hey, it wasn't me, and I ain't snitching. And you don't even know what this snitching is because you was not even involved with that crime. Then your whole race is led by a bunch of criminals who think they freaking goddamn Donald Trump in a fucking female buffet. They think they could do everything. They think they could do anything because the code of snitching and the code of being a witness has embedded themselves within each other, like one definition. Now you have no protection. Now you walk down the street, you get shot for whatever reason, and you fear that. That's why your neighborhood is not safe, because you can't tell the difference between being a witness and a snitch. Snitching has a moral compass to it. When you're part of a group that did the crime, you shouldn't snitch on your comrades. But if you are not part of the crime, or you the victim, it's coming to this day that the victim can be the snitch. How is that possible? Does that make sense? We are so dumbed down and so lowly educated that we don't know the difference between a snitch and a freaking and a witness, or the definition of the two so closely combined that we accepted that any kind of telling of any kind of sort is snitching. I can't rock with that. It's one of the reasons I'm not in the hood anymore. Okay? I removed myself from the hood because many years I have seen such personality traits that borderlines on stupidity that I can't take it. And these are one of the things I cannot take. Okay? You wonder why you can't step out of your house. You wonder why you can't have a fancy car. You wonder why you can't fucking goddamn open up a business without everybody in your goddamn shit's now. You wonder why you can't wear fancy clothes. You wonder why you can't go to a club. You wonder why you can't do a darn thing no more. Okay? You're not only worried about the cops, and the cops are frustrated because you're not snitching, or you're not telling, or you're not being a witness to a crime. The police is starting to see you, the public, as a threat. And the public, having the police being thinking you as a threat, is more dangerous than having some thug thinking you as a threat. As a society, they're worn up. They're coming together. They're creating clubs. They're calling each other brother. When a cop get murdered by you civilians, because you won't help them and you don't look like a fucking friendly face, they get together. They form clubs. They call each other brother. Instead of calling their fellow man brother, who they are hired to protect. And personally, I don't see how you could protect an enemy, because the civilians are considered the police department enemy, and the police department is seeing the civilians as the enemy. How they could do their job? Because the code of snitching and code of witnessing is two different things. They know it. They're well educated. The people that's on the street, they don't know that shit. They're going with the trends. Now the police sees you as a threat. Or black people, because black people's the only one that got that no snitching clause. Then they start fucking goddamn shooting your people. Killing your people. They're getting sick and tired of people getting away with murder. They're getting sick and tired of people getting away with stealing. They're getting sick and tired of people getting away with all kinds of shit. They're getting sick and tired of fucking goddamn arresting people and bringing them to the courtroom and them getting out in a week while they resting their fucking goddamn lives on a daily basis with a bullshit ass fucking check. Just because you won't be a witness. I mean, a snitch. Now, you got a bunch of not only the police as an enemy, you got the very people who you're not snitching about as your enemy. Okay? Since the police won't help you at all and shit like that because, hey, they think you a freaking goddamn enemy to the law, which they swore to uphold by their dying breath. The gang members think they can run free just killing people and controlling people all throughout the hood. Now you got two problems. Why you have those two problems? Okay? The police will start seeing you and looking at you like you're a gang member because you're black. Because you won't snitch or be a witness. You're following the same codes as these gang members. How can they tell the difference? You sagging your pants just like them. You wearing gold teeth just like them. You wearing braids out of nowhere. You fit the description. How can they tell the difference? Now you got that. You had many years of that happening. Many years, decades, to people retiring, people getting hired, people getting tired. You invent a culture inside the police department to the point where it's not repairable. The trust from the police department to the civilians are totally damaged to the point where police don't even walk the beat anymore. They don't want to be in your neighborhood. They want to drive past your neighborhood as quickly as fucking possible because you're the enemy. You are the enemy. You listen to the same music, you're the enemy. You dress the same, you're the enemy. You got kids on YouTube who don't carry guns but talking about carrying guns with their toys and saying fuck the police. You're the enemy. It's called progression. By decades of progression. Conditioning, mental conditioning. Then you start seeing it on TV. Then you start hearing it on music. Then you start seeing it everywhere. Now you got a split divide. With the police on this side and the civilians and the gang members working together. And you can't even tell who's a gang member or not because they came up with this goddamn snitching shit. Or was it the Italians? Well, the Italians, they got it from the Italians. The gang members get everything fucking from the Italians. Okay? Now you got a war on your hands. Now you got black men shooting at cops in the middle of the street by a bank. Now you got young men getting killed by cops. It perpetuates itself. It gets worse and worse and worse. It's unrepairable. Nothing you could do. The shit has run downhill already. It's coming down like a landslide. There's no wall to hold it back. There's no forest to slow it down. Okay? You see how this divide in this country has become? And from there, you have the politicians who controls the cops. They can't stand you. Then you have the politicians who can't stand you. You got the mayor that can't stand you. You got the governor that can't stand you. Then you got the president of the United States that can't stand you, who won't help you. Shit, we didn't have no help as a race since Kennedy. But y'all people are still fucking voting. For what? When has voting ever helped black people? Since Kennedy. And Kennedy got shot. Now I'm not saying that is a bad thing to vote, but you gotta ask yourself as a black man and a black woman, should you? Should you focus your energy on something else? Since since this landslide cannot be stopped? Should you tell your leaders to focus in a different area instead of stop battling something that cannot be redirected? The damage is done. So what you should do? I'll tell you what you do. I mean, I can make a suggestion. And that suggestion is slowly but surely, and I've said this many times in my lifetime, the only solution for black people in the United States of America, we need our own country. Governed by us, run by us. Then maybe you could grow up or have children you don't have to worry about being shot by cops. Maybe you grow up and not worry about your kid getting shot by gang members. Because regular people, regular civilians, regular everyday workers, hard workers, are surrounded by either the cops or gang members. And as I told you before, this landslide cannot stop. It already reached the police. It already reached the politicians. It already reached the President of the United States of America. It already reached our government. And here we are, knocking our heads against the plowshares, asking for equal rights, while our gang member family members are tearing up the neighborhood as we march. These people, some of these people are hired. You gonna get any progression out of that? Is there any possible progressive thing coming out of this? Black Lives Matter has just been labeled, and I'm telling you right now, I just found out a couple of days ago. Black Lives Matter has just been labeled as a terrorist organization along with the Ku Klux Klan. You know why? You keep burning down cities, towns. As soon as you become talking about Black Lives Matter, you'll be arrested and you'll be seen as a terrorist. While Black Lives Matter is becoming a terrorist, the KKK, who was a terrorist for almost 250 fucking years, are becoming normalized. It's coming accepted. They are talking in courthouses freely with the help of the cops. And they're a terrorist organization. They shouldn't be waving no flag of anything when it comes to the Ku Klux Klan. But they do. There's going to be a war on the Black Lives Matter movement. They already got a law out there talking about what's that called? Extreme identity. Meaning you can't identify who you are in an extreme manner. Israelites, Nation of Islam, 5%ers, those types. Breaking down your door, having a warrant, throwing you in jail. And sooner or later, your rights of freedom of speech will be revoked. And next thing you know, we'll be in a communist fucking country. But it's not going to be the Jews that's going to be the target. It's going to be black people and minorities as a target. All because of the no snitching law. Or the witness law. The The witness law or the no snitching law? I can't tell the difference. I'm not smart enough. That's where it started. Now you got the Ku Klux Klan all up in the cops. They being invited into the police department with open arms. They got the swastika on their arm. They got the rebel flag on their arm. They got all that fucking shit on their arm tattooed all over the place. They walk in the street all tattooed. What you police uniforms. It's not going to head in a good direction. The only direction is Marcus Garvey's direction. We have to get our own country. We slowly but surely have to work with Africa and get our own fucking country. I don't see the fucking, excuse my language, I don't see the problem. At least these people know we are doing something instead of complaining about our conditions in this country. To solve our problems, we're beating ourselves in the head in plowshares. We're not marching like Martin Luther King. We're not marching like Malcolm X. We're not having discussions like Marcus Garvey. We having riots. We burning down cities. That's what we're doing. Are you serious? You gonna get some plausibility out of that? You're a terrorist now. You march down the street talking about Black Lives Matter, and you're gonna have people who is not of your group, and they're gonna start burning shit down, and all you're gonna be arrested for fucking terrorism. And I didn't look up the time that you had to serve for being a terrorist, but personally, I believe they put you in Guantanamo Bay for that shit. Okay? Personally, I believe they put you in triple max prisons for that shit. I'm not being a terrorist. I'm telling you what the laws they passing. And nobody had a whiff or where. Nobody looks at certain news areas where you'll get this information. Nobody looks at CNN. Nobody looks at C-SPAN. Nobody looks at none of these channels. But they're passing laws right now to kick your ass. Excuse my language. Kick your butt. And the coronavirus, well, that's another matter. The AIDS virus, that's another matter. People are dying and they're being acceptable laws to a terrible fucking disease. That's how I see it. We have to get our own country, slowly but surely, with respect, with the help of the United States government, hopefully, to support us 50 years while we get our country, and then let us on our own. This is scriptural. It has to be done. It's supposed to be done. Back in World War II, these Chinamen, Japanese, got reparations as soon as the war was over. We've been over 400 years and we still didn't get no fucking goddamn reparations. Are you serious? That should be a thought process in your head, like, hey, we gotta do something different. But for a lot of people, it's not. It don't come to mind. They don't think about it. They still beating their heads saying, hey, they should treat us right. Hey, they should do this. Hey, they should do that. But you became the enemy of the state when you just stopped cooperating with the state. As a witness, not a snitch. That's where it started. . That's where it had to start. Grassroots. But black people want to continue beating their head against the plowshares and trying to be 100% of this country like they are when they should be finding their own country. It doesn't work that way. Okay? Yeah. I'm just sick and tired of seeing all this crap in the news. And while all this shit is going on, all the police is on their ass, the government's on their ass, these coming out into work and shit like stuff like that, black people are getting sick. They're losing their mind. They're killing their kids. They're not caring. They are becoming over-sexualized. They're losing their freaking mind. Like I said before, we are losing our freaking mind. Because we're becoming sick. We're having a reminder, a revelation, or epiphany of what happened back to us in slavery days, and that subconscious is making us mad, crazy, turning on each other, killing each other. I'm gonna be like Master. I'm gonna kill this nigga. Maybe you see light in me. This is you. This is what this nation is all about. I mean, this nation is all about now. Destroying each other. This is my theory. And it's probably science fact. This is theoretical fact. It started when you broke up your connection with officials. You crying for this, you crying for that. They don't care what you want or what you don't want. Okay? They wouldn't allow a black president to be a president if it didn't benefit them in some way. And even he didn't do nothing for us. But you celebrate him like he did. He was a black president. Okay, and what did he do? I remember I was a few years back when Obama was president. The black leaders of this nation were screaming at Obama, arguing with Obama, like, come on, man, meet with us. It took Obama a long time to meet with black people, black leaders of this society. And I don't know what they said, but in my opinion, what Obama's administration did for black people was minute, was little, very little. He even said himself that I'm the president of the United States of America. I'm not the president of the black people. You think being the president, he could throw a couple of scraps towards us, but he didn't. Y'all complaining about Trump, should be complaining about Obama. Or at least you could foretell what Trump was going to do. But Obama? That's all I got to say. Thank you for listening to World War Prime. And see me next time.